All right, so for those of us that were absent and won't be back for a little while, I wanted to go through the rocks with you and think about our two terms that we're working on our lab, which is our texture, that would be foliated, which I try to remember as folded or not foliated, folded. So if we look at this, right, those are layered, so that'd be foliated versus non-foliated. Then we looked at our coarse-grained or not coarse-grained, right? If we can see individual minerals like this one, we would describe that as, let me get that focused, coarse-grained. Here's even a better example, right, where we can see the big minerals. Or non-coarse-grained, where we can't see individual pieces here. Right, so things like slate, what a great example where we can see there's 0 minerals, grains. So let's look through them. Slate, as you recall, we call that one foliated. We see those folds, those layers, and it's non-coarse grained. We cannot see individual grains here. Schist, we see is non-foliated, right? No layers. And what do you think, coarse or non? Coarse-grained, right? We can see those individual pieces. We move into our gneiss, which has been kind of worn off there. What do we think, foliated? Correct, which is our perfect, awesome example of foliation, right? That pressure has squished those. Are we coarse or fine-grained? Can you see minerals? I can, right? Coarse-grained. We move into our quartzite, or our dirty quartz almost, when we think back to our minerals unit. What do we see? Do we see layers? That would be a, nope, non-foliated. And I would put this one as non-coarse grained. It's almost one big grain, right? I cannot see individual pieces in here. So very unique about quartzite. We move into hornfels. Let's see, do we see layers? No, we do not. Non-foliated. And this one's pretty close to in between, but I think we gotta call this, let's see if I can zoom in, coarse grain, right? I can see some black minerals, some white minerals there. Come on. There we go. We move into our serpentine. We see that this one is coarse grain. Look at those big minerals. And this is a very tough one for foliation. I hate to show you guys this. This is just a very unique sample, but it is not foliated. We see this one, it has cleavage. If we remember back from minerals, it is not layered. That's actually how it breaks. Very cool. So serpentine is a very, very unique one. We want to remember that like a serpent is green. That's what's so unique about this metamorphic rock. We move into marble, like marble countertops. And here's a beautiful piece that's been polished for countertops. We look at more of a classic one. And let's see, do we see this as foliated or non-foliated? I would say non-foliated, right? No layers. And I can see black minerals and white minerals and some yellowish micas. That would be, feldspars. That would be coarse-grained. And we finish off our entire lab with phyllite. And we can see some individual grains in these, right? So we would call this one coarse grain, but I would say this is not a distinguishing characteristic of phyllite. It's really an intermediate metamorphic rock, as we discussed. So we can see some have some large grains, some don't. But what do we say? Foliated or non-foliated? I think that is a distinguishing characteristic of it. That and the shine, right? Phyllite has a really nice shine to it. So it's foliated, and I would call it coarse grained, but we could find some samples that are in between. So that is all our rocks. Please continue to play through. I would recommend what you do is play it on mute, and you go through and decide, is it foliated, non-foliated? Is it coarse grained? Is it non-coarse grained? Miss you guys. I can't wait to see you back. Stick up with our class website, and I will talk to you soon.